There are a great many things I like about Batman v Superman. Yes, I know, I'm one of those guys. My defense of the movie has been well publicized, and I've gotten flack for it for quite a while. That's okay though, because I understand. I get why the movie's disliked. It's big, it's messy, superhero fatigue setting in, and like a great many Zack Snyder films, I believe it's totally misunderstood. I could write 10 videos on Batman v Superman, but instead, I'll spare you by just doing this one for now. This came from a discussion I was having on Twitter recently, and it's a point that I think could use the defense, since I see it ridiculed all the time on the internet as ill thought out. It's this bit.
You're letting him kill Martha!
What does that mean? Why did you say that name?
Find him! Save Martha!
So yeah, if we look at this out of context, it does seem to say, your mum has the same name as my mum. But for me, this is the most important part of the whole movie. This is the key character moment in the entire film. This is the emotional core of a character, and for me, it really works because of what we get to know about Batman prior to this moment. Now, to take this walk, I want you to keep in mind, filmmakers don't do anything on accident, usually. Every choice has been thought out in some way, and to usually a surprising degree. That even goes for garbage monsters or extras that you don't like, of which many put Snyder in. They're all wrong. To talk about why I think the Martha moment works so well, we have to go back to here. I know, we've seen the Waynes get killed a million times in all kinds of medias. We get it, but parents are everything in this movie. Seriously, go through and see how much birth, parents, mothers, and fathers are talked about. It comes up at an incredible frequency, and that makes sense, because parents are the entire emotional through line. So yeah, we do have to see the Waynes die again. Plus, I find the sequence quite succinct and eloquently shot, so we don't dwell on it for too long, but it also looks really, really good. This video is mostly going to focus on Batman, and that's because all the work in that Martha moment is being done by him, but also because Bruce is the best work in the movie. To understand where I'm coming from, you have to buy into Batman not being a good guy. That's important. Batman is not a good guy. Not as an anti-hero, and not just some shallow representation that's dark for darkness' sake. As an audience, I truly believe we aren't supposed to empathize with the moniker of Batman. He's a rabid, unchained dog. Even from the beginning of the movie, it's very clear he's a bad dude. I mean, he's going around branding people. He's shooting people. And again, that goes back to my point about everything being consciously decided in this movie. Zack Snyder didn't think, I'll just get Batman to break one of his key tenets and just shoot guns because it looks cool. At least I truly don't believe that's the case. He's doing it to paint a representation of a Batman that we don't usually see in movies. We aren't supposed to root for him. This is a pretty twisted version of Batman. I've always thought of the character as a little twisted inherently. What with the rich guy taking advantage of fear to totally eviscerate poor people and low-level thugs, but his humanity always kept him on our side. This version of Batman doesn't have that, or rather, nearly doesn't have that. He actually fights it. He has become so encompassed in the persona of Batman, it's destroying him. It's turning him bad.
New rules.
We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed.
Oh, yes it has, sir. Everything's changed. Men fall from the sky. The gods hurl thunderbolts. Innocents die. That's how it starts, sir. The fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel.
When I first saw the movie, this line hit me in the face like a red flag about this character.
Can't see that he needs the income from imported arms.
Regardless, I'll need to put a leash in his house, and I'm gonna need the suit.
The Bat interrogated 6 people and came away with nothing. It was Bruce Wayne that got the information.
Well,
Essentially, he defaults to wanting to be Batman, only being Bruce Wayne when he has to. Batman is an addiction. Even when Alfred says that Bruce Wayne has been invited to Lex Luthor's, he still goes downstairs to stare at his suit. And in that same sequence, we see this. I don't think this is purely world building. Indeed, it does tell us where we are in the timeline of the Batman story, and it could be future building for the franchise. But it works twofold. This is a crucial character highlight too. Bruce Wayne is so consumed in his pain, his fear, and his anger, and I think he intends to stay that way. He's taken his biggest failure, the death of Jason Todd, and literally hung it up on a wall so he'll always see it. This is a man who, for all intents and purposes, has taken the clothes of his dead son, a death he played a part in, and put it on display. The character is consumed with his failures.
That turns good men cruel.
Another important thing to point out is that I believe that this version of Bruce Wayne, or at least the mangled emotional corpse that was Bruce Wayne that's so consumed by his failures, blames his parents. It's why he fears them. He sees them as ghouls. Hell, even in this anecdote, he twists his father's story to justify going after Superman.
My father sat me down right here, told me what Wayne Manor was built on.
Railroads, real estates, and oil.
First generation. Made their fortune trading with the French. Pelts and skins. They were hunters.
And Alfred is like,
Sir, I think you might have chosen a better story of your father's for this situation.
while we're on that, we have to talk about what Superman represents for Batman. Throughout everything, Superman's referred to as a god, or a guardian, and he has an immense amount of power, and that's completely true. For Bruce, he's afraid of power, unless he can control it. So he's pretty much destined to end up rejecting Superman. Hell, the most powerful influence in his entire life, the person who changed the most, could well be the shooter of his parents.
You're gonna go to war.
That son of a bitch brought the war to us 2 years ago. Jesus, Alfred, count the dead. Thousands of people. What's next? Millions. He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him.
But he is not our enemy.
The damage that Superman does to Metropolis scares Bruce. And when we get to here, and see a little girl who has just lost her mother, Bruce absolutely equates Superman with his parents' killer. Now, we have to talk about Superman. Superman goes through some doo-doo in this movie. In a lot of ways, I think of him as Batman, but probably as he was in the earlier part of his career. And through the movie, he gets put through stuff that could have put him in the emotional turmoil that Batman is in now. At all of his darkest moments, where does he go? He talks to his mum. He phones her. He visits her. The only moment he even considers killing Batman is when this happens.
Martha, Martha, Martha.
Because after all,
Every boy's special lady is his mother.
I think without his family, and we see a glimpse of it here,
She was my world. And you took her from me.
Superman will be exactly where Batman is. His parents are everything. His family is everything. And so we get to the moment. Batman's defeated Superman in a colossal showdown. His darkness is at an all-time high. So afraid of someone more powerful than him. A man continually called a god in the film. A guardian. Something Bruce never had, or at least never embraced. Something that he can't stand to exist. I think the visual storytelling in the moment is really clever here too. Half of his cowl has come off. This is both Batman and Bruce Wayne in the moment that will define the entity as to who he will be going forward. He can finally give in to fear, give in to everything that's twisted him up inside. In essence, he can kill Bruce Wayne by killing Superman, and thus killing the last thing keeping him human. For me, in this moment, I think Bruce Wayne's perspective is completely shifted. I think where he once saw a man who held the gun and shot his parents, he sees Superman truly at his most vulnerable. He sees a child scared for his mother. In that moment, for the first time in a long time, he empathizes with another person, and he realizes he's about to become the monster who shot his parents. And he doesn't. He recognizes that the man he once saw as a reincarnation of his parents' killer isn't that. Instead, he recognizes he may well have turned into that. Perhaps the moment doesn't work for you, but I genuinely believe there is clever narrative work on display here, with nicely planned moments that all lead up to the Martha scene. It means going forward, this character will be kinder, and he'll show humanity a little bit more. Kinda. See, because he didn't brand him this time like he does to that criminal earlier in the movie, because he's nicer. Hey guys, thanks for coming by for the first episode of Hot Takes. I haven't quite committed to a schedule for this, but I would like to do a lot more in the future. So if you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be brilliant. Like I said early on in the video, this is just one part of why I like Batman v Superman. There's a lot more. There's stuff like Lex Luthor, who I didn't get to touch on, who talks about his father being gone, and I think kind of is what Batman could have turned into if he had gone all the way and ended up killing Superman. There's also stuff with Alfred as well, but he got a lot of clip time, so I think you can kind of infer what I think there. I think he's basically brilliant. But next episode, I'm going to move on to something else. I might come back to Batman v Superman at some time. But yeah, stick around, and I hope you guys enjoyed that and want to see more, because there's more coming.